Hello and welcome. I am Nuclearmonkee, and this is a video let's play of Dominion's 4 Thrones of Ascension multiplayer. It's not a vanilla game. I'm recording this because it is going to be silly and fun, hopefully. It is a BadDraft mod game. This is a game where a bunch of players over something awful got together, and using Snake Draft, we drafted nations for one another. So you picked each other's units and whatever, in an effort to make a truly abominable nation, which then another player would have to play, and everyone's doing the same for you. And then whoever has the least bad nation will maybe win. So by design, the nations are going to be really bad. They're going to be an assortment of the worst, or generally the worst. Some picks are questionable, from all the vanilla nations. So let's see what we got. I'll post the details for the game itself, the draft, and all that. I'll just link the Google Doc directly in the little YouTube comment thingy. But yeah, so here's the game. I'm on the server, so I don't have to connect network-wise. And I am Shitler, God of Pooville. Here are the nations themselves. The flags are generally custom. People who didn't give me one, I just gave them a basic colored flag. I am Pooville. I won't go over all the nations in detail, but I will go over mine. But as I meet people, I will go over them. So here's our start. It is, I believe, 10 players, map with 4-way wrap, and on an ugly map that I made all by myself. So, turn on the income box. And here is my nation. It was lovingly drafted for me by the other goons. So we've got the Jotun militia. These are the giant militia guys. They're pretty terrible. The large scorpions of Zabalba, which are pretty terrible at killing things. However, they're 1 gold and size 1, and can be masked quite easily. So they're good at getting in the way. They are magic beings, so they cannot be led by anything without magic leadership, which in my case is mages only. I don't have any magic leaders. No one gave me any, of course. Next unit we've got is the Wolf Rider. These are kind of forgettable units that M.A. Jotunheim gets. They're stealthy, though, with pillage, so that's pretty cool. They're 20 gold for 8 HP, 14 defense. I think that's with a shield, so without the shield, they're only 10 defense on an actual dodge. They don't hit very hard, they're not very impressive. When the rider is killed, I get a wolf, and that's maintenance free, I believe. I mean, it's wolf. Wolves are pretty useful. Next, we've got my most questionable pick. Someone gave me Theurg Communicants, which are from M.A. Pythium. These dudes automatically communion slaves themselves in every battle. You can recruit, they're limited recruit 1, so you can only make 1 per turn per fort, and they are sacred, which means they benefit from a bless. So I have a Nature 9 bless, which will let me expand, hopefully, and make these guys even better later on. Next unit is the Human Warrior, which is the Nazca guy. Undisciplined Spearmen with straight 10 stats and no shield. They're also undisciplined. They do have some frost resist, at least. They're pretty bad. For cap units, I was giving Ur selection, which includes the Surish, which is a 200 gold boondoggle, the F-35 of sacred units. Actually, no, I think that's the Hydra. Anyway, so it's not very good, generally. With Nature 9, it'll be pretty damn tough, though. I think it'll regen, 9 a turn? Which is decent. It has Fear, which is its main selling point, so it'll help rout the enemies a little better. It does require magic leader, since it is a magic being. But I have to lead it with one of these anyway, a Newt, which is a mage priest. It does have magic leader. And then my other guy is the Enki's Chosen, which are the forgettable Ur-Sacreds with no hats. They have a lot of health, though, so with Nature 9 they should be relatively robust. For my commanders, I've got the Unsleeping Consort, which is an H1 priest. I think I was given this because it costs so much. It's not terrible. I'll probably never make one, though. Next, we have the Newt, which is an F1 H1 mage from LA Abyssia. They're not good. However, I will use them anyway. They do have 40 leadership, so I can use these to lead and bless my sacreds. Fire 1 is not that good for much of anything in battle unless you use gems, which I will probably end up doing. Otherwise, I just shoot fire darts or whatever, which is far from impressive. I've got the Spider Clan Witch Doctor, which is an irredeemable, horrible mage. Inept Researcher 4, so I get 7 RP for 80 gold, not sacred, and it has 1 in 3 paths. So it's not that good. I mean, I might... No, I'll never make them. I mean, even if I needed just some swarm spammers or whatever, I could make some druids or whatever, indies. I've got Mercata Scout. For my basic commander, I've got the Wolf Herd, which was given to me because it's inspirational -1, which is not that good. So my starting army will have negative morale. They are stealthy, though, and they can summon wolves, which is useful. The wild card slot, which was a commanderized whatever, I got the Obakumono, which is just a, I don't know, it's just kind of pointless. It's a fat guy with 40 leadership. For my cat mage, which had to have 5 paths total, I got the Hanya, or however you pronounce it, I'm not Japanese. 195 gold for F2, D2, and 1 cold-blooded demon with heat aura. They're actually pretty good. Of course, I was given cold 3 scales as my temperature preference for my nation, so I did have to pay, or I got the points, but I pay the income to not have cold-blooded, because Skella spam with a cold-blooded unit in cold is bad, so I have neutral heat instead of cold 3. My starting army is one of my commanders, and then 100 gold of 2 different kinds of units, so that would be 5 Wolfherds and 100 Scorpions. Only reason he's allowed to lead them is they're magic beings, and normally he wouldn't be allowed to lead them at all, but if you put them in starting army, it works. However, if I put him in combat, there is no magic leader, so they will dissolve, which is perfect. And then I also got this guy, Little Mercata Scout. So we're going to profit my Scout, because the Wolf Herd, once I replace him, will be in my cap, probably summoning wolves the rest of the game. So, Cheeky Monkey for my profit, and he'll summon a couple wolves this turn. And then I will make a Newt, which I'm going to send with him because I need someone with magic leaders so my scorpions don't dissolve. And then I'll make a couple of these, and then we'll check mercs. Mercs are probably going to be heavily bid this game. Okay, so we do have mercs available. And I think I will bid 210 gold on these. I mean, they're militia, 16 militia, which is sadly better than what I'm starting with. So we'll bid 210. I'll probably lose the bid. Everyone else's nation are also really bad. The map didn't have like static starts or anything, so actually it looks like I have a really good cap circle that I will not use much at all, because I'm just going to be making a handful of sacreds. And my scales are trash. I spent a ton of points on my god. Oh, he was a Bakemono Kunshu, which is the big Bakemono guy. Except when he was picked, I don't think it was realized that he was immortal. So I have an immortal god. And I pumped a ton of points into him. So he's got like, I think it's Fire 1 or 2, Death 5-ish, Astral 4 or 5, and then Nature 9. So it's kind of a boondoggle. I put way too many points into him. But it'll be fun. Once he wakes up, he's going to kind of wreck things, because he's going to have N9 communicants guarding him, so he can Skella spam forever, since he can communion. And I also get communion PD, so I can teleport him around and defend anywhere with my Dominion. Although I do have lowish Dominion score. I believe I have 6 or 7. 7, since I'm using 4 holy ones, got 3 left. I think, right? Let me count this. Yeah, 7. So it's I kind of wrecked the... Well, my nation is trash anyway as far as like recruitable units, besides like this and these maybe, and the occasional scorpion. So I'm not really missing out on much. The only mage of real value that I have is my cat mage, and I'll probably end up spamming newts if I don't luck into some indies, which is what I'm really hoping for here. I did take Magic 3, so if I run into Jade Amazons or whatever, they are unironically better than my national mages, so that's what I will use. I think that's pretty much it for turn 1. Just going to profit my monkey, summon some guys, recruit a few things, and bid on mercenaries. And we'll see what happens.